again, I'm not using formulas, but I'm looking at this thing over here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to try to simplify it a tiny little bit. So when I do that, I'm going to say minus 26, and then I'm going to look at that root 480. Now, certainly I know there's a 16 there. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't do that. I should do 48 and 4810. Now, certainly if I'm looking at 48, 48 times 10 is 480. So 480 is going to be 16 times 3 times 10. And the square root of 16 is going to be the number 4. All right? Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write that down now. So it's going to be 4 square root of 30. All right? I'm going to get my eraser out, kind of erase things I don't need anymore. And I want to keep plowing forward. And really, what am I looking for? I'm looking for, getting the negative number out. And I see it, by the way. And so someone says, how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to factor it. And let's write that down. And what do you get over there? Let's take a look. You're going to get, let's be careful about this, minus 2, and then I'm going to get 13 minus 2 root 30. All right? Before I go forward, I want to point out, I got to be careful. All right? So someone says, what do you need to be careful? The square root of 30, well, it's between 5 and 6. I hope that's obvious. So now I know 13 minus 2 times the root of 30 is definitely a positive number, all right? Because even if I went closer to 6, it's still not going to be negative, all right? So I'm going to say I'm okay with that. I know it's positive then. Now, certainly, the question is, what do I know is positive? I know this is positive. Now, of course, what I'm going to do now, and yeah, maybe I'm being overly careful, this is going to be the root of 2i. And then we left off with, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm left off with denesting something that is fairly simple to denest with the methods that we know. Again, I'm not using any formulas. I just want to think through it. Let me write this down for you. So the square root of 13 minus 2 root 30, I'm going to make an assumption that this is going to be the root of a minus the root of b. I'm going to square both sides. This is going to be 13 minus 2 root 30. This will be a plus b minus 2 root ab. And this is a real number problem, so it's going to be pretty easy to deal with. So I know a plus b is equal to 30, and I know that ab, oh, I'm sorry, I said 30, I didn't mean 30. I meant a plus b is 13, sorry. And I know that a times b is 30, all right? So, I'm always saying it always causes problems where I'm looking at wondering what are those two numbers? Well, it's not that bad. I'm going to say 3 and 10. And why is that? 3 times 10 is 30. And 3 plus 10 is 13. Now, certainly someone says, which one is 3, which one is 10? Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at it, and I know, if we're talking about principal roots, that this is going to be a positive number. So what do I get over here? Well, if I did that, what would you get? I would get root 10 now, minus the root of 3. All right? That's right over here. And this is equal to the root of 13 minus 2 root 30. And that's the principal root, by the way. Now, someone says, what are you going to do now? Well, I don't want to forget this. I have to multiply that number by this to get my answer. And this is going to be a principal root. And what do you get over there? Well, let's do it. It's going to be, let's see, it's going to be root 20i minus root 6I. Well, I think I could simplify that. And what would that give me? And then I'll talk about what it looks like later. Let's see, that would be 4, which is 2 root 5I minus root 6I. And then I'm going to factor the I out. And what do you get? You're going to get 2 root 5 minus root 6I. I'm going to commit to this as an answer. I want to look at the K. My key's probably on the next page somewhere. And let's see if we have that written down. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing I, 2 root 5 minus root 6. All right? Now, granted, you know, I will say that there's actually 2 roots to the problem, and the other root would be the opposite of that number. So the other root, and again, this is the principal root, right? This is principal. If I wrote the other root down, what would it be? Root 6, I'm doing the opposite now, minus 2 root 5I. All right? I want to point out, one way to check this is just square the numbers. All right, let's do that. Let's square this guy. And what do you get there? 6 plus, well, what do you get there? You get 4 times 5 is 20. And then what do you get? Minus, we're squaring, right? So we get root 30. And then what do you get? Let's be careful about this too. Root 34, I'll put a 4 there. And then I squared is just minus 1, all right? And what do you get over there? Well, you would get minus 26 plus 4 root 30. I'm going to write that a little differently. Minus 26 plus, well, that's going to be 480. Are we getting back this over here? The radicand? Of course we are. By the way, this one squared is going to give you the same exact number, all right? This is the principal root, though. Principal root. All right, let me remind you again who I am. My name is Ron Bannon. My email address, if you need to reach out to me, whoops, sorry about that, is Bannon, which is B as in boy, the @ symbol, NNON.US. All right, thank you.